Now this is a story all about how my life got turned right upside down. And I'm gonna take a minute and sit right there and tell you what I found on my 3DS with a scare. Welcome to the first Storytime video where I tell you non-exaggerated stories on things that happened in my life, so I pretty much cripple myself for any chances of getting YouTube famous. So let's begin! It all started when I was sitting on my chair and browsing the internet when I spotted that a new Pokemon game was coming out. Not having played Pokemon since the original Gold on my green Game Boy, I wondered why I skipped so many of them. After that, I thought to myself, I could buy a €200 device to play another $60 game. Why the hell not? So I went to the local game store and looked at the possible handhelds I could be buying. When a pre-owned white 3DS XL caught my attention and I said, why the hell not? It's cheaper, save myself a few bucks. So I bought it, went home with Mario 64 DS and the Pokemon game I ordered. Finally being home, I opened up the DS and started playing my Pokemon game for 2 hours. When I was done, I decided to look at what maybe passed by when they supposedly checked this thing for what was on there. Besides a fat bearded me with glasses, I couldn't really find anything of interest until I opened up the camera app and checked the folder what was already in there. The first video was taken where I see 2 women play with a child in a sandbox while the fat bearded me was likely the one to film it. Nothing special, though a bit strange why you wouldn't just use your phone for that. But I closed it and went to the next video. This was taken from the living room where, assumingly, the fat bearded me was filming again as he was with a woman, presumably his wife, watching TV. This clip was not even 10 seconds long, so not much to make out of it. Then I opened up the last file. Oh boy. What a file to find. A redhead woman is straight up blowing the fat me character. Wow, that certainly was a shift. Playing with kids in the sandbox, watching TV, getting blown by a woman early in the evening with poor lighting. This video was 2 minutes long and the kind of shit you expect to see on Pornhub's amateur 240p section. And either this girl was good at sucking, or he just blows loads easily because this was just pathetic. After I find this video, I waited for my at-the-time girlfriend to come home and show her the videos in the exact order that I watched them. She was disturbed but interested and turned on. And she wanted to tape stuff of her own, but I wasn't really into that. I never agreed to it, and thank God because now she's no longer my GF and God knows what would have happened if that landed on the internet somewhere and people would find out it was me. So a week or so passes and I go back to the game store with the 3DS with me to show the store owners what was on the SD card. And that they should be happy this thing wasn't bought by an unknowing parent for her kid that knew how a DS works. Because if this was America, I could sue them for a lot of dollars. They watched the videos and were actually able to identify the customer that was the previous owner because he always takes his kids and sometimes his wife to the store. And the woman that was blowing him was not his wife. I sold the 3DS a few months later and bought a new one a few years later that is my current 3DS with the Monster Hunter Generations theme on it. So what did we learn today? First of all, men are definitely pigs. Second, when you sell your phones, handheld consoles, or anything that can contain sensitive information or content, either clean the storage up or pray to God the game store does. Or you might find yourself being talked about on a non-famous YouTuber's channel. Good one! Super sexy fan art. Okay, big boy. Alrighty then. Okay. Okay, that was a unique experience.
Jimmy?